Our scripture reading today is Psalm 37, verses 1 through 9. You're going to hear it twice. You're going to hear two voices. The first is a translation from the New International Version, and later you'll hear a different voice. Do not fret because of the wicked. Do not be envious of wrongdoers, for they will soon fade like the grass and wither like the green herb. Trust in the Lord and do good, so you will live in the land and enjoy security. Take delight in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. Commit your way to the Lord. Trust in him, and he will act. He will make your vindication shine like the light, and the justice of your cause like the noonday. Be still before the Lord, and wait patiently for him. Do not fret over those who prosper in their way, over those who carry out evil devices. Refrain from anger and forsake wrath. Do not fret, it leads only to evil. For the wicked shall be cut off, but those who wait for the Lord shall inherit the land. And so it is written in the Holy Bible. May we be blessed to find meaning and understanding in these words. Now, our planet can be described in many different ways depending on one's physical vantage point and mental point of view. From my perspective, Earth is a tiny little sphere, a very small place within the universe. Beautiful beyond belief, bursting to its seams with energy, potential, and unlimited creative possibilities. Look around you, and we see a world full of people and things that are endlessly fascinating, mysterious, life-giving, life-supporting, life-affirming, nurturing. And then these people are coexisting with people and things that are dangerous, dark, scary, sinister, dehumanizing, decaying, damning, and deadly. What a world we've created for ourselves. What a world we're milling about in. And beyond a doubt, this is our world. This is the world we've created with our actions and our utterances. This is the world we've created with our lamentations, our exhortations, our petitions, our pleadings, our prayers, and our dreams. This is the world we're still creating. This is the world where every single thing we do and say is historic and written on the book of time. This is a world where we can't really take anything back because once it's done, it's done. We can try to mitigate and amend things, but once something's done, it's done. Everything I just said is now history. There's a written record of it, as well as your witness to what I've said. And I think it's important that we remind ourselves that as long as we breathe, we are making history. We are doing and saying things that others will talk about, remember, and react to. Each and every one of us is writing the history of this world, and what we contribute, what each of us do and say, is integral to how we live at this time in our history. Now, despite how things appear, and we know the world is full of illusions, but despite how it looks to many, each of us is just as important as the other. No one is more important or less important than anyone else in creating the history of planet Earth. Many of us, I believe, mistakenly feel that what we do in living out our individual lives is unimportant or insignificant. Many of us believe that our voice or our vote doesn't matter. That simply is not true. This is an integral world where everything is related or connected in some way, and all our collective fortunes or lack thereof are tied to our collective interaction. What is true is that each of us matters. We matter whether we're the Pope who has the ear of millions of Catholic faithful, or whether we're an autistic child with limited communication skills. We matter whether we're an astrophysicist unlocking the mysteries of the universe, or whether we're a barefoot African girl who spends much of her time fending off would-be abusers. How they each act and how others react and respond to them shapes and creates our world and our living history. I think that everything we do advances either our living or our dying. Or more accurately, everything we do moves us towards love or towards fear. Now this, I think, a lot of awesome stuff happening in the world today. Well, in fact, let's try something. If you can think of one awesome, life-affirming thing that's happening in the world right now, can you raise your hand? One awesome, life-affirming thing. Ruth, can you tell me what you're thinking of?
I think that people are well today.
People?
We're well.
People are well today. Okay, Linda, I saw you raise your hand. Linda Manzo.
I'm going down to see Ryan Howard celebrated, and I'm so excited I can hardly stay in my seat.
Okay, let me see some more hands.
There are so many people in the world trying to help other people, creating water projects, creating housing. That's global.
I'm looking right here at life-affirming, awesome thing happening, Ruth.
Well, I'm having trouble right now with that one, but anyway, I'm kind of stuck. There was a pretty nice post on Facebook by Alvaro looking for a looking horse. He's the keeper of the buffalo fight. You know, and basically there's a prophecy of the Rainbow Warriors, and they're all working now to help heal the earth and planet, and they're actually supporting the American Indians. So this is a really cool thing.
Okay, what about on this side of it? Okay, Joy.
I was thinking about the rescue operations, the Coast Guard off the coast of Libya, who are looking every day for migrants on the boats that are, set out to sink, and rescue as many people as they can. It's an amazing effort.
Okay, anybody else on this side of the room? Shannon.
All the people that are on the coast of Greece every day bringing the refugees to shore.
All right, so you see what I mean. I wanted to do that because right now so many people I know are spazzing out, and I don't even know if that's a word, but on how terrible things are, and they're in a state of despair over what's going on politically. What we're experiencing is really nothing new to our history. We're just experiencing things in a different way. Political fights have always been down and dirty. And I can assure you that no matter what the outcome of our upcoming presidential contest, we're going to move on and figure out, hopefully, the best way to deal with the results. We may not like the results, but I bet there are going to be those who keep trying to, in their estimation, make things better. Our nature as creators is to seek perfection, and I don't think that will ever change. We really just differ in how we seek that perfection. Looking at our behavior, it's hard not to pose the question that Rev Bev asked, where is the love? I think we should really be thankful for, however, that despite a lot of the distastefulness of what's been happening, we're still able to participate in this process freely without a gun over our heads. In our current social climate, what I find so entirely fascinating is that our country seems to be divided right down the middle, and if you allow me to simplistically divide us into left and right ideologically. Each side thinks that they're right, while they look at their opponents with utter disdain. Last Monday, I was asked to participate in a debate watch party and to be interviewed before and after the debate, along with some other people who were mostly undecided about their presidential vote or who favored Donald Trump. A British news outlet, Sky News, was sponsoring the event and broadcasting it live back to Europe. I just happened to be in Doylestown that day and was surprised when the producer told me they were having a hard time finding Clinton supporters. I was even more surprised when, after I introduced myself to several women who had gathered to watch, and they asked me who I was for, I received a look of utter horror when I said I was with her. They simply could not believe it, and I, of course, couldn't believe this group of women were for Trump, Mr. Trump. One woman attended the debate she attended the debate waving an American flag, which was her symbol of making America great again. When she was interviewed afterwards, she found absolutely nothing positive in Clinton's performance and thought that Trump clearly had the upper hand with his passion and his penchant for saying whatever unscripted things came to his mind. She described Clinton as diplomatic, scripted, and boring. Whereas I found Clinton's diplomatic, measured, and thoughtful responses an asset. Again, during the ensuing somewhat heated repartee among the panelists, it was easy to ask the question, where is the love? The woman and I later had a discussion where we both agreed that no matter who won the presidency, we hoped they would do a good job for the whole country. And I was pleased to find some love in our parting words. Here's another quick related story that I'd like to share with you. A few weeks ago, I reconnected with one of my best friends from college on Facebook. We hadn't been in touch for over 30 years, and I've been trying to track him down for several years. I finally discovered him through a mutual Facebook friend, and he accepted my friend request. I immediately wrote him and expressed my delight in finding him and told him I looked forward to catching up with him and asked him to touch base with me when he had a chance. I'd also taken a quick look at his Facebook page and noticed he had an anti-Hillary posting, which really didn't bother me. But anyway, weeks went by and I never got any response from him. I thought that was surprising considering how close we were as undergrads. Anyway, a few days ago, I posted a link to an article that was in support of Hillary Clinton, and out of the blue, my friend responded, somewhat critically to the article I posted, complaining of the author's alleged attempt to get readers to vote against their convictions. Now, I didn't read it that way, but that's what he thought. Now, my friend never responded directly to me or acknowledged reconnecting. He just responded to the article. So I messaged him reiterating that I was thrilled to hear from him, but I was surprised that it was by way of that posting. I assured him that he should vote his convictions, which is as it should be. But more than anything else, I just wanted to know how the heck he was doing. I finally got a reply from him, apologizing for not responding sooner, and also a brief rundown of his life over the last 30 years. Now, what was interesting is that at the end of his message, he said, "Billy Bloom, I love you, man. Don't ever forget that." Now, sadly, I've watched long-standing friendships dissolve because of the polarization that's been taking place. It's also sad to me that we are finding it difficult to stand under, like Lance likes to say, each other and find a way to create a world that makes us all feel like we're at home, we're safe, and we're valued. What do we do in a world that right now seems to be valuing material things over things that really matter? Human lives, respect, dignity, comedy, manners, politeness. What do we do in a world that praises and honors individuals whose apparent success comes from using and exploiting others? What do we do in a world where there's such a huge disparity in the distribution of the world's resources that far too many people can't even consider relationship building because each day is spent simply trying to stay safe, warm, and fed? What do we do in a world where you just fill in the blank? Today's psalm, which is actually an acrostic poem, the stanzas of which begin with the successive letters of the Hebrew alphabet, according to the lectionary, suggests a solution. It suggests invest in God, invest in love. So I'd like you to listen again as I read another translation of today's scripture. This translation paraphrases from Eugene Peterson's The Message. God is still speaking. Don't bother your head with braggarts or wish you could succeed like the wicked. In no time, they'll shrivel like grass clippings and wilt like cut flowers in the sun. Get insurance with God and do a good deed. Settle down and stick to your last. Keep company with God. Get in on the best. Open up before God. Keep nothing back. He'll do whatever needs to be done. He'll validate your life in the clear light of day and stamp you with approval at high noon. Quiet down before God. Be prayerful before Him. Don't bother with those who climb the ladder, who elbow their way to the top. Bridle your anger. Trash your wrath. Cool your pipes. It only makes things worse. Before long, the crooks will be bankrupt. God investors will soon own the store. Now, I would suggest that if we look carefully, we will see that we are all God investors. We've all got something to put into the bank. The more love we put in, the more love we get out. So let's invest wisely. Invest in God. Invest in love.